Gentlemen, I have just one question for you, and I come at this with a couple of premises. First of all, we're going to continue to develop oil wells in the Gulf. I don't think there's any question about that. It's necessary. 40 years ago on the first Earth Day, the big issue was stopping nuclear power. And they were incredibly successful and stopped nuclear power. And as a result of that, of course, we are much more reliant today on fossil fuels than what we were. And we're going to continue to be like that as we drift away from that. And this committee, I think, everyone on this committee is committed to move from fossil fuels. But it's going to take some time. There's no question about it. When you have human activity like this, where you have a highly technical and highly sophisticated process of developing a deep water well, accidents are going to happen. And the thing that has struck me, aside from the tragedy of this, and I think everyone would concur that this is an awful situation, but it seems to me that we have been totally unprepared to respond to this. And knowing the federal government as I do and the bureaucracy as I do, it really doesn't surprise me that the government is not able to respond to this. But it seems to me that the industry itself has the expertise, has the technology, has the engineers, that they should be able to respond to this better. Now, I know that there was some concerted effort to get the best minds together to try to resolve this, but it would seem to me that some type of an agency, and I'm thinking of a private agency, that brings together all of the companies that are doing this kind of exploration and production, would be very beneficial to them, because this is a problem. This isn't just BP's problem. This is an industry problem that everyone's going to pay the price for a long time, along with the American consumer. So my question to you is, what do you think about some type of a private agency, obviously overseen by the federal government or that sort of thing, that provides the technical help when something like this happens, to respond quickly and to put the best minds together that can to try to resolve this? Mr. Beck, could we start with you?
Senator, in terms of a private agency, there are so many operators, drilling wells in the Gulf, each of them needing a staff to be able to do the types of responses that you're talking about. I think a private agency would turn into an extremely large organization to be able to service all of those individual companies, if I understand your premise here in terms of a centralized response unit. The industry is very good at sharing technical information. We have societies, technical societies, that publish large amounts of papers that people read and digest what's happening technically. But there is no central clearinghouse for assuring that everybody knows that information.
It seems to me that the central clearinghouse might work better. I mean, the response right now, I don't think anybody is satisfied with the way the industry is coordinating the response to this. Mr. Dannenberg, I'd like to hear your response.
Well, I think in terms of the response, I really have a hard time finding a lot of fault. Every option in terms of the intervention and trying to stop the flow, it hasn't worked, but every possibility is being tried in terms of actuating the existing equipment or trying new equipment and concepts. So I think that's been very good myself.
Well, what's the exit strategy here? What is going to work? Or what's the path to get there? I mean, obviously you can't tell me what's going to work, but I'm looking for a path to get to an end game, because there's got to be an end game here.
Now, the relief well will work, and I think the chances are good that the well will be killed before the relief well is called on to complete the job.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, I'm less than satisfied with those answers, but thank you.
All right, Senator.